The question of the night is Travis Hunter playing too many snaps? It's a question that keeps being asked, specifically after he had an awesome performance on offense against Stanford, but a lackluster performance on defense, where a guy had essentially 300 yards receiving. Let's talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because I upload all the time. Now, the question is now being asked, now that we're halfway through the season, and now that this is the point of the season where injuries start to rack up for teams and where we really find the true identity of teams and of specific players. The question's being asked is Travis Hunter playing too many snaps? I've heard Shannon Sharp, who's a Pro Football Hall of Famer, say he thinks Travis is playing too many snaps. Others say that even at the beginning of the year, there's like it's not going to be sustainable for Travis to play 100 and some odd snaps each and every single game. And now this interesting tweet or post on X really puts it all into perspective. Now, this tweet was put out there by NFL Rookie Watch. It says Travis Hunter reportedly might have to start, quote, focusing on playing one position, according to some NFL scouts. Hunter finished the game against Stanford with 13 catches for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns as a wide receiver. That's really good. But also finished the game allowing 11 catches for 158 and 2 touchdowns as a corner. That's not so good. Hunter currently has 353 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. He's also allowed 223 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns and a 91.2 passer rating when throwing at his side. Now, they didn't add his interception. He does have an interception on there, and he's got some nice deflections. They didn't put his deflections on there, but that is something to think about. Specifically, in this is something that was bound to get brought up after a game like Stanford, not just specifically after the game that Travis had, because like I said, on offense, Travis was awesome. Travis gave them a spark and made plays that nobody else on their team can make. That first touchdown when he spun off the dude and ran into the end zone, I don't know if anybody else on their team can make that. And that's just a really nice play. At the same time, when you go out and make that play on offense and you score that touchdown and you give all your all to get into the end zone, you then have to go stop the other kid on the other side of the field, on the other side of the ball, who's having a record day. He's probably having the best game of his entire freaking life. And that's a lot to ask for a 19, 20-year-old Travis Hunter. That's a lot to ask an NFL Pro Bowler, NFL All-Pro type of guy, let alone a guy who I think is one of the best athletes in the entire country, if not the best athlete in the entire country. It's a lot to ask for him. And here's the thing. We know Deion Sanders went both ways, even in the pros. But he didn't play 100% of the snaps on defense and 100% of the snaps on offense. He played 100% of the snaps on defense, but he played maybe 30% on offense. Maybe. Some years. It's not even every year. They return kicks and punts and stuff and score touchdowns that way. But he didn't play an overwhelming majority of snaps on offense. Travis is their starting wide receiver to go along with being their starting cornerback. That's tough. That's tough for anybody. And now that you're getting into the back end of the season, now that you're coming off an injury being Travis, and now that you're getting into more ranked teams throughout the season that have other stellar wide receivers, that's going to be a lot. That's going to be asking your best player to do a whole lot. And I just don't think that's sustainable. I don't think that's suitable, especially for a kid who's coming off an injury, playing at altitude. That's one thing Shannon Sharp continues to push that Colorado plays at altitude. Shannon played for the Denver Broncos for over a decade. He won 2 Super Bowls with the Broncos. He knows what the hell he's talking about. He became a Pro Football Hall of Famer by playing in Denver. So he knows what that does to the body. He knows what that does to a football player. He knows what that does to someone as skilled and even as skilled and talented as a Travis Hunter. That does a lot to you. And that's asking of a lot. 120 25, 40 some odd snaps each and every single game. And because Colorado's defense is so bad, because their defense is so bad and Travis is playing both sides of the ball, he's out there a lot. It's not like he's going out there getting 3 and outs and then coming on offense making some plays. No, he's going out there catching 10 balls and then it didn't have to hop right back on the field for a 10, 12, 14 play drive because the defense can't stop anybody. That's asking a lot of even of a uber talented kid like Travis Hunter. And then you add the fact that he's already had an injury this year. He's already had to miss 3 weeks, 4 weeks. He's already now, it's the second year in a row in college he's had an injury. He's third. This is not me wishing ill will on the young man. This is just stating the facts. He's had 3 years, 3 consecutive injuries, and got injured his senior year, got injured first year at Jackson State. Now he's got injured this year. And now you're going to still play him 100% of the snaps both ways? That's tough, man. That's tough. As this schedule only ramps up. I mean, Colorado's sitting at 4-3, and some people can't seem to find that 6th win, that 5th and 6th win. A lot of people looking at that schedule, and if you're saying that means these teams that they're going to be playing are better than them. At least you think it. At least Vegas thinks it. And you're asking the young man who's uber talented. Now, I've told you guys from the jump, this tweet. Now, I don't know the credibility of this tweet, but it is interesting and it's something to talk about. But it says NFL scouts feel like he needs to focus on one. Well, if he focuses on one, the one to play is wide receiver. And I've talked about this before, specifically about Travis and playing wide receiver. If Travis comes out in the draft this year with really good wide receivers in this year's draft, he would be the 2nd wide receiver off the board. Marvin Harrison Jr. would be 1. And 2 would be Travis, Keon Coleman, one of the kids from Washington. It'd be one of them at number 2, but I like my chances with Travis simply because of his athleticism and his route running. He comes out wide receiver next year. He's wide receiver number 1. As a corner, might go 1st round. But as you see, whether you think those numbers are inflated because he's tired may be a thing. But at the end of the day, you can only go off the numbers in the tape. He's super athletic. He jumps routes. He makes great plays at corner, but he has the tendency to get beat. You know how you can't get beat? By playing wide receiver. You beat other guys and you embarrass those guys. And that's why I always said, Travis is a top 5 pick at wide receiver. His coaches always said he's a top 5 pick at either wide receiver or corner. I've never believed that because I said last year and people joked on me, there were HBCU corners that were better than Travis last year. It's just like there's Pac-12 corners this year that are better than Travis. There's no disrespect to Travis' corner game. It's just the truth. You just saw it. 91.2 passer rating when throwing at Travis Hunter. Giving up over 200 yards. In they've played 7 games. He's missed 3. Missed 3 or 4. So he's missed 4. So you get what I'm saying? Like, he's a better wide receiver. He's nasty at wide receiver. And if he played wide receiver full time, you're looking at a more athletic Justin Jefferson, a guy that can run routes, has good hands, and he just happens to have a 40-inch vertical. He's a more athletic Justin Jefferson, maybe with more speed, but he has that same type of build and same type of ability. At corner, that's not to say you can't get a great corner, but at corner, might have to focus on playing corner just full time and not trotting over to the offense, being wide receiver number 1, getting 13 catches in the game, which is awesome. Led to 2 touchdowns, but it's a lot more tough to be trying to be corner number 1. And I don't know, a Patrick Surtain type of mold on defense while also trying to be the Justin Jefferson type of mold on offense. That's tough. I mean, it's damn near impossible. In a Power 5 Pac-12 type schedule. It is dang near impossible with the young man who already has suffered a couple of injuries. That's why I didn't think that they would just automatically let Travis go back to doing what he was doing in the first game back. I just didn't see that happening. And that's exactly what they did. They got a great dose of him on offense, probably his best offensive performance this year. The problem is he also had his worst defensive performance in the same game. And it's at this point, where do you think he benefits your team the most? Do you think having him being your cornerback number one and taking a few less snaps on offense, maybe getting, I don't know, Omarion Cooper back involved in the offense? Or would you like to continue to see him score touchdowns and target, what do you have, 17 targets in the game? Keep targeting him and letting Cormani and the other guys on defense make plays. That's a question that Coach Prime is going to have to ask himself. That's a question Coach Kelly on defense, Coach Sean Lewis on offense, and that coaching staff is going to have to ask themselves, do they trust the guys that are a backup? Who do you trust more, the guys backing up Travis on offense or the guys backing up Travis on defense? Because at the end of the day, he's going to have to take a step back on one of the sides of the ball if you want to get the maximum performance, the peak maximum of him throughout the rest of his career. Because I think playing 100% of the snaps on both sides of the ball, you're going to have a drop off on one end. And having a drop off at a cornerback position on defense as your CB1 versus other teams' wide receiver one, having a drop off, being a little bit more tired, losing that half a step means everything. It's the difference between a guy maybe going for 150 and going for 300. And that's what just happened in Stanford. So that's something the Colorado staff is going to have to deal with, something they're going to have to answer to. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Should Travis focus on one side of the ball, or do you believe in Coach Prime and the staff, and you think they should continue to let him play 100% of the snaps on both sides of the ball? I'm more of the belief, put him at wide receiver, man. Let him get a breather on defense, because at this point, you're going to have to outscore teams the rest of the year. And at wide receiver, I think he's a more athletic Justin Jefferson type of player. My name is JeffLightsYJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell, because I upload all the time. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.